Hey team, I just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about the Silver Stars trip that Gavin won and that we just got back from this past weekend. It was absolutely incredible. For those that don't know, the Silver Stars trip is something that Plexus awards each month. I think there's 3 winners each month, and it's the people that have gotten their team to promote the most to silver, the first rank in Plexus. That's why it's called the Silver Stars trip. And I have to be totally honest. I was really excited about going up there, especially since Gavin hadn't seen the new office yet. But I was completely blown away by just everything that I guess my expectations were not set quite correctly, because it was one of the most amazing trips that I've taken since being with Plexus. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so I can run through some pictures that I took while we were up there and kind of go over what we learned and what we talked about from our trip. But definitely a trip to strive for. It's available to those that begin the month at Ruby and below. So a lot of people on our team could be working towards this trip. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. Okay, so as you can see right there, this was the actual award that Gavin received along with Tarl. He presented it to us when we got there. One of the first things that we did that was really, really neat is that they actually took us out to lunch. And so we got to have a sit down and chat with Wilbur, who's in the front left, the 2 other Silver Stars winners, and then Alex, he's one of the jewel liaisons. Next to him is Mary Ann. She's the new training coordinator for Plexus, and she is incredible. She's the person responsible for the new success kits. Then, of course, there's Tarl, who's our CEO, and then Vincent Orlick, who is in charge of social media for Plexus, and then Gavin and myself. What was really interesting and unique about this lunch was getting time to spend one-on-one with all of them. And I thought we were going to be grilling them and asking them questions about things and initiatives that they have coming up and that kind of thing. I was so wrong. They sat down and they were grilling us with questions. They were asking us what we want to see coming from the company, and they were interested in our input. That we talked a lot about, the back office, a lot of initiatives that we want to see happen within Plexus. And the general theme was that they were just taking notes, valuing our opinion, asking for our thoughts on things that they have rolled out and things that we want to see rolled out with Plexus, and just how we can make the whole experience with Plexus better. So I thought that was really, really unique, because instead of us just sitting there and asking them questions, they were really, really interested in what we had to say and how we had grown our business and what we were seeing in the field. They asked a lot of questions about, what we see between ambassadors, the relationships between ambassadors, if there's competition in our local areas and local markets and that kind of thing. It was really, really interesting. This right here, that's Wilbur. He's the head of the jewel liaisons. And what I loved about this is actually the gold training room. And what that is they bring in big groups of customer service people they interview them and they get them in this training room. And they have a very stringent training process on the comp plan, on the products, on the Plexus processes and procedures, on customer service in general, that kind of thing. And they bring in these classes, and only about 15 on average graduate from each class. And so lots of people drop out, lots of people can't handle it. But they said that it's a very, very stringent program. And then they put those people out into a specific area in the customer service area. And they're kind of in, a probationary period for a little bit of time. So I thought this was really neat to kind of listen to them and how they do their training process for our customer service reps too. And they talked to us. I don't have the picture in this album, but when we walked through the customer service department, holy smokes. I mean, it was absolutely buzzing with excitement, and people were, on the phones, and there's a lot of room for growth left in the customer service department. They said that they are actively hiring lots more agents to fill in. And one thing I noticed what that was really neat is that they, on each of the desks, they have these awards, like tons and tons of awards, peer voted on awards, excuse me, and then just awards that Plexus has given them. So they do a lot of that type of thing for their employees. And then, of course, they have that fun wheel that they get to spin for cash every Friday based on who has performed the best that week. So I really like that, seeing that side of the company culture. This is our liaison, Jake. He's kind of who I go to and handle all of my issues with, and he's been amazing. This is actually, I took a lot of pictures over here in the warehouse because I think this was a really unique part that I got to see that I hadn't experienced the last time I went up there. But this is the conference room for the warehouse. It's where they hold all their meetings. If there's any kind of issues, they sit down and they talk about it in here. And this is the first very small part of the warehouse. The warehouse is huge. It's 42,000 square feet. There is a lot that goes on here, and we got to watch them shipping things in action. Actually came in over lunch break, so not as many people were on the floor as normal, but it was still, they were moving packages out like crazy, just with the people that were in there. And they actually ship out 15 to 20,000 orders a day. Now that's just not bag to slim, that's whole orders. So that's a ton of product that gets moved through that warehouse each and every day. It's a little bit better view. This area where that guy in the black jacket is standing, he is doing, these are where they pack up specific orders that they get a lot of. So he was actually handling one bag of slim, and that's all he was doing. Like all the orders that he had stacked up, each one of them was just for one bag of slim. And so he was filling that box to be taken to shipping. This is where you can kind of see they package them up. This is the orders that aren't things like slim or triplex or anything like this. This is, hodgepodge of orders, and they stand and they just fill in the orders like this, and then they put them on that conveyor belt to get shipped out. So these are the shipping records that we thought were pretty neat. The best day that they've had was 28,000 orders sent out, and then they go through all the different, types of things. So they're very, very proud of their shipping department and how they've been handling everything. So here, these boxes are getting ready for the truck. They had just had a truck come through when we were there. They have every single day, 2 huge semi-trucks filled just with Plexus order get sent out. That's how those 15 to 20,000 orders a day get sent out, and they fill those trucks to the brim. And that's the holding area for that. Okay, so this is where the product storage is, and we thought that was pretty interesting. They've got a lot ready to go. They've got a lot in. And then here is where they print out all of the order tickets and all of, they print out the shipping labels, and then they have the order behind it, and then those get taken down to the warehouse to be fulfilled. And that's their break room. But this was really, really neat. To be totally honest, I didn't realize the research and development lab was right there in the building. And so we've got to be able to go in and see that. And they said that each product that vendors bring in, or that they're thinking about putting together and selling through Plexus, goes through a minimum of a year of testing in this lab. And so this is where all of that happens. And I thought that was really, really neat. That's a different view of where all of our products are at. And then one thing, I also put together a video for you guys, kind of talking over one of the QA guys was talking to us about the QA process for Plexus and the testing. And I've uploaded that video to YouTube, so you guys can check that out as well. But man, just being able to sit down. We also went to dinner with Keith Jackson, who's the COO of the company, that evening. And just like the lunch that we had, he just sat there and asked us so many questions. These executives care. They want to hear what we are saying, and they are taking our thoughts and they are implementing them, which is really cool. Multiple times during our dinner, he would pull out his notepad, and he was actually using his phone to take notes, and he took notes over what we were saying and the ideas that we had for the company. And it was just so refreshing to be able to have that kind of a voice to a C-level executive and to have that kind of a change. One of the things that we really took away too, and this is, kind of exciting, is that the convention is almost sold out already, you guys. It's getting close. We had 8,800 registrants so far. The max that the convention center can hold is 12,400, and they don't want to fill that to the brim because it would be extremely uncomfortable for us sitting in there. So we got to get our team registered. We got to get them there before that sells out, because it looks like it's going to. We've had an incredible turnout so far, and so we're really excited. But bottom line, my Plexus cup is more full right now than it has been since I can remember. It was one of the best experiences to be able to sit down and talk to our executives like that, and to have such high-level discussions about the business and how we were going to move things forward and the visions and stuff. So I highly encourage you guys to try and go for that Silver Stars trip. It is definitely a once-in-a-lifetime trip, and I can't say enough good things. So that is all I have for today. So thank you guys so much, and let's rock February. I can't believe it's already February.